Why can't I break free from my comfort zone and get results? Or why do I keep sabotaging myself when I know I need to break this habit? This is a question that often comes up in my workshop, Break Up with Self-Sabotage. So let's talk about it. Let's begin by getting clear on what the comfort zone is and why we get stuck there. So the phrase comfort zone was coined by management thinker Judith Bardach in her 1991 work, Danger in the Comfort Zone. Judith describes the comfort zone as a behavioral state within which a person operates in an anxiety-neutral condition using a limited set of behaviors to deliver a steady level of performance, usually without a sense of risk. So when we think about our comfort zone, there isn't much incentive to reach for any new heights of performance. And so most of the population, some studies say up to 80% of us, live their entire lives in their space of comfort and security, just going about their daily tasks, putting one foot in front of the other, and living in what I like to call trance, or some other people may call on autopilot, until they reach a level of unbearable boredom. One of my clients described her life before coaching with me as living in the movie Groundhog Day. Or something happens that really shakes them up or makes them uncomfortable to the point where they decide that they want and deserve something more or something different. So then enter the desire for either excitement or change or both. And then we're ready to leave our comfort zone. But leaving our comfort zone can be a difficult task. So whether it's trying something new, taking a risk, or facing our fears, stepping out of our comfort zone can be daunting. Why is it so hard to leave the familiar and embrace the unknown? Good question. So one reason is that our brains are actually wired to seek out and maintain a sense of security and stability and safety. So when we're in a familiar environment or situation, our brain rewards us by releasing chemicals such as dopamine that make us feel good. This is why we often find ourselves gravitating towards the same activities, habits, people, and places because they make us feel safe and they make us feel good. On the other hand, when we're faced with something new and unfamiliar, our brain releases stress hormones such as cortisol, and that can make us feel anxious and uneasy. Another reason it can be difficult to leave our comfort zone is that we often have a fear of failure. So we may be afraid of making mistakes, especially if you're a perfectionist. So we might also be afraid of looking foolish or not measuring up to our own expectations of ourselves or those of others. And then this fear can also hold us back from trying new things and taking risks. So we may also, as strange as this might sound, have a fear of success, and this can be just as limiting. So we may be afraid of the responsibility and expectations that accompany success, or we may be afraid of the changes that success may bring to our lives. All of these fears cause our inner critic to go wild as we tell ourselves, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I don't deserve this, I'm too this, I'm not enough that. We tell ourselves these things to the point where we believe that we could never succeed at what it is that we want to set out to do. Another reason we find it hard to leave our comfort zone is that we tend to overestimate the risks and underestimate the rewards of taking action. We use our imaginations against ourselves instead of in our favor. We focus on all the negative things and all the things that could go wrong instead of all the positive things that might also come or instead of from taking that risk. So, we might also think the change is going to take longer than it actually does. And then that might, make taking the first step towards the change feel daunting or impossible. And remember, what we focus on expands and our energy goes with it. Oftentimes, too, our comfort zone is attached to our self-esteem and our identity, so we may feel like we're defined by the roles and activities that we're familiar with. So leaving our comfort zone may feel like we're actually abandoning a part of ourselves. This can make it difficult to let go of the familiar and embrace the unknown. It's important to remember that leaving our comfort zone is not about being perfect. And it's, not about never experiencing failure or discomfort. It's about learning and growing and becoming the best version of ourselves. It's about taking risks and facing our fears rather than letting them hold us back. So how can we overcome these challenges and leave our comfort zone, you may be asking? So one way is to start small and just gradually build up to bigger challenges, like building a muscle. So I show my clients how to set daily intentions, how to take little steps, baby steps, and then celebrate successes along the way, which helps to build confidence and keeps us in momentum. Another way to overcome the challenge of leaving our comfort zones is to focus on the potential rewards of taking action. Instead of focusing on the negative things that might happen, think about all the positive things that could come from taking a risk and create a powerful and juicy vision for yourself so that you can generate empowering emotions that are going to keep you motivated and moving in the direction and towards the result that you really want. And these things will help you to shift your mindset and keep motivating you towards your desired outcome. Remember that when we focus on our problems, our energy goes down, and when we focus on possibilities, our energy goes up. So it's important to be patient with yourself and to give yourself permission to make mistakes. Remember that failure is a natural part of the learning process, and that it's not a reflection of your worth as a person. When you were a baby learning to walk and you fell down, you didn't say, well, I'm never going to walk again. It's kind of the same thing. So practice lots of forgiveness and self-compassion and, sprinkle that on everything. Another thing to think about when you're looking to leave your comfort zone is to build a really good support system for yourself. So have people around you, friends and family, who are supportive and encouraging and who are going to support you in taking risks and trying new things. Being part of a community like my Facebook group, my free Facebook group called Women Embodying Energy, Self-Love, and Happiness, where other like-minded women are on a similar path of personal growth and development, that really helps to keep us in momentum and feeling cared for and understood and in good company along the way, so that we support each other in reaching our goals faster, and then the change is also longer lasting. So, leaving our comfort zone is difficult for many of us, but it is one of the most important things we can do for personal growth. By understanding how hard it is to leave our comfort zone, we can start to work on ways to overcome those challenges and take action, inspired action, I like to say, towards creating a more fulfilling life. So I would love to see you inside my Facebook community. So I hope to see you there. And as always, I am wishing you love, strength, and energy. Mwah.